We begin this half hour with the investigation into a shooting that claimed the life of a 17-year-old. We begin this half hour with the investigation into a shooting that claimed the life of a 17-year-old girl.
Yeah, 3 days ago, Carissa Bright was gunned down while sitting in a car in East Mount Airy. Action News reporter Katie Cattrall talked to her loved ones today. Katie joins us now live from police headquarters with more on the young victim. Katie.
Shari and Rick, family members say Carissa Bright had a bright future ahead of her. They say she was a caring person. She wanted to be a nurse. Now, instead of planning for her future, family members are planning her funeral.
It's sad. You don't expect it. You hear about it, but you don't expect it to happen in your neighborhood.
It's a home like this.
It's like her.
You see, I just don't get that. How you could live in Philadelphia and not expect this to happen to your family. I just don't get that, man. I'm not saying you expect it to happen, but just being like, the people I talk to who live in Philadelphia on my live streams on Ock Nation TV every 9:30, Tuesday and Friday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Ock Nation TV, link in the description box. Yeah, whenever somebody, they say, man, you can feel it in the air, man. Death is in the air. The violence is in the air. You can just feel it. It feels tense. I just don't know how. What, you had 200 women shot last year? Like 80 killed. Most of them in the street. Not in the home, in the street. I just don't know how you can still be like shocked, like, or feel like somehow it can't be you. I get that, like the feeling of like, it's going to be somebody else. So it's always been somebody else. I get that. It just speaks to the numbness and the cognitive dissonance, the coping mechanisms that some people have. She lives in a city where women are shot just about every day. Especially this year, it's worse. She just can't believe that it happened to her because she's grown so numb to it.
It's sad. You don't expect it. You hear about it, but you don't expect it to happen in your neighborhood.
It's a home like this.
It's like her.
Grieving family members say 17-year-old Carissa Bright was fatally shot on Friday night.
To know Carissa, you had to fall in love with her.
Police say the gunfire erupted just after 8:30 p.m. on the 6600 block of Ross Street in East Mount Airy. Police say the teen was sitting in the passenger seat of a parked white Toyota with 3 other people when a dark-colored SUV pulled up against the car and at least one person fired at the people inside, striking the girl in the head and chest. Police do not think she was the intended target, but someone else in the car was.
Sitting in a parked car in the street in the stand is a very dangerous thing, man. Because this is one thing that you got to understand about the stand. A lot of these neighborhoods, there's a lot of beefs going on between different groups of sunmen. Sun teens, sun men, different groups. So at many hours of the day, there are groups of sun men in stolen vehicles that were procured during carjackings. They're riding around with guns and they're looking for their ops. And when you're riding around a neighborhood and some guys just shot up your neighborhood last night or a few hours earlier, and you're coming to their neighborhood to get back, even though the 10 or 12 little thugs that you're beefing with, they're somewhere hiding in an abandoned building or hiding in a vacant or hiding in a project hallway or hiding in whatever little hole in the ground they're hiding in. Because they just shot up the other people's neighborhood. And now the dudes are coming back. And they're riding around looking for them. That's the case in a lot of neighborhoods at all hours of the day. So when you're sitting in a parked car with a bunch of people in the stand, you have to take that into consideration. That yes, you may be from that neighborhood, you may know people in that neighborhood, you may not be involved in whatever beef is going on, but there's guys rolling through the streets looking for people from around there. And then they see a car with a bunch of young people in it. Oh, there goes some of them right there. There go some dudes from XYZ place, or there go some dudes from this Ave or that street. You're sitting in the car and you're around there. So they come by and they spray the car. And they roll out and they never think about it again. And it may have been some of the guys from that neighborhood in the car. She could have been a girlfriend, a friend or something. It could have been nobody from that car. No, it could have been nobody involved with that beef in that car. But you have to understand that in the stand there's a lot of beefs going on, as you can tell by the murder rate. And a lot of innocent people are getting killed because these guys don't care. They ride through, they see, oh, there go some people right there. There go something right there in that car. And it could have been the car. They could have known the guy's car. Could have been like, oh, yeah, that's so-and-so car. And they're just going to spray the car. They don't care. Or it could have been, oh, that's so-and-so car. And it wasn't so-and-so car. It was a black, they looking for a black Altima, and it's a black Sentra. All they know is it's in that neighborhood. They got beef with these guys. Their neighborhood got shot up last night. They coming back. That's what a lot of people who not from the stand understand, man. It's constantly people riding around neighborhoods looking for people to shoot.
Police say the teen was sitting in the passenger seat of a parked white Toyota with 3 other people when a dark-colored SUV pulled up against the car, and at least one person fired at the people inside, striking the girl in the head and chest. Police do not think she was the intended target, but someone else in the car was.
We just got a call, and we just ran out of here like hell.
Chopper 6 shows the car the teen was rushed in to Chestnut Hill Hospital, where she was pronounced about 20 minutes later.
It hit all of our hearts. It hit all of our hearts.
You don't kill an individual, you kill a whole family when things like this happen. It's the whole family suffers. And that's the worst part.
Bright's name fitting. Family says she was a bright light in the community. They are determined to never let her light fade.
She was beautiful. She had life. She had energy. You know, it's just hard.
And police say they are looking for a large black SUV, possibly a Lincoln Navigator. Authorities also say the other 3 people inside of the car with Bright were not struck. I'm live here at police headquarters. Katie Castro, Channel 6, Action News. Rick?
All right, Katie.
Violent weekend in Indianapolis leads to the death of a bright 18-year-old girl with a promising future. And tonight, friends and family of Datara Johnson gathered for a vigil to celebrate her life as police search for the person responsible. Thanks so much for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Dan Spieler.
And I'm Fanchon Stinger. As you just saw, there was an outpouring of love, support, so many prayers pouring in tonight for her family, that community. Johnson graduated high school in Beech Grove last year. She planned to attend Marian University. She was killed Sunday at a Southside apartment complex.
Tonight, Fox 59's Mike Sullivan takes us to that vigil and shares her family's message. Mike?
At the vigil tonight, we heard a lot about who Datara Johnson was. An 18-year-old, a scholar, a ray of light. What we didn't hear was an answer to why. Why such a young life was taken so soon. That is the question her family wants to know now.
The answer is she was hanging in the south side of Indianapolis. It's a very sunny area. She was proximal. Proximity to sunmen. They're constantly killing one another, and you're there. You're around. Stray bullets. Someone gets an argument with you. Someone doesn't like your boyfriend. They know you're his girlfriend. They'll kill you. A shooting down the street. The bullet just hits you. You're up the street. She was in the south side of Indianapolis. You just can't afford to be around sunmen right now, man. Proximity, man. And anybody who will get mad at me and call me some kind of name, some Uncle Tom or something, they know it's true, though. That's the thing about it now. In 2020, the people that'll call you a Uncle Tom or a sellout or say that's a white supremacist talking point. They know that you're selling the truth. They're just saying that. They know that. They know it's true. They're just saying that. That's a Republican, that's Fox News talking point. They know it's true. Proximity to sunmen can lead to your death. Period.
At the vigil tonight, we heard a lot about who Daytara Johnson was. An 18-year-old, a scholar, a ray of light. What we didn't hear was an answer to why. Why such a young life was taken so soon. That is the question her family wants to know now. They are 4 simple words.
Put the guns down.
Said all too often in Indianapolis.
Stop the violence.
Heal it. Wrap your arm around mama.
This family is hurting tonight.
If you know something, say something.
From a loss they may never overcome.
We wasn't ready for baby D to go. She's just 18 years old. She had a long life ahead of her.
Daytara Johnson had just graduated from Beech Grove. Her family saying she pulled off the feet a semester early.
She wanted to go to Marion College and study science, biology.
To her,
you mean she didn't want to study African American studies or liberal arts? Gender and politics? She wanted to study science and biology? Hey, listen, man. Hats off, man. STEM. That's what we talk about a lot. STEM, science, technology, engineering, math. We need more sun people involved in those, man. This was one. She's dead now.
She wanted to go to Marion College and study science, biology.
To her friends and family, she was known as Baby D. To her cousin, Brandy McDowell.
She was loved. She was loved and is loved.
That struggle with past and present may tell you Daytara Johnson is gone. She was shot and killed this weekend at Stone Lake Apartments on the south side.
It's all that trash on the ground, man. Look at the unkempt nature of those yards, man. That's a rough spot, man. It's where she lived at. God.
She was shot and killed this weekend at Stone Lake Apartments on the south side. It's where she'd been living.
Somebody catch whoever did this to her, and so we can get some type of closure for our family.
Right now, information is extremely limited. We do know Johnson did make it to the hospital alive, only to die hours later.
Somebody just took our cousin away from us, our niece.
As her friends and family gather for a vigil tonight, there remains a faint glimmer of hope.
We got to go to our brother and make it right.
That answers to this case may bring healing to her parents.
Lord, we didn't know they was going to get the knock at the door. Oh, God, but you did.
Perhaps someone else out there knows too. IMPD continues to investigate this case. The Johnson family is pleading with the community to please come forward with any information. Even a small piece may be enough to lead to an arrest. In the southeast side, I'm Mike Sullivan, Fox 59 News.